All right, we're gonna jump to a little project today. Um, Let me explain how this all came about. I had a chance to go to the Charlotte show, and I went. It's pretty good ways from here. It was about 14 hours from here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get that straightened up a little bit. It was about 14 hours from here, so it was a long drive, but I enjoyed it just immensely. I'll tell you what. Charlotte, North Carolina had their show, and I didn't go and I didn't carve or do nothing like that. I just went and enjoyed myself. I just went and saw the beautiful carvings that were there, and shared and talked with the carvers that were there and all that stuff, and I just had a grand time. I'll tell you what. See, listen, all those ribbons and stuff, they're good, okay? But you know what? I don't care about those ribbons. And I don't care about being recognized for being a carver or anything like that. I just enjoy sharing with my good buddy Alan Goodman. And then I saw Sean and Neil and let's see, there was Jerry and Jonathan and Jonathan Creason, and I just had a really good time with these men, just sharing and talking to them and stuff. And that I enjoyed that more than any ribbon in the world. I tell you what, because I'm a whittler, folks, and I love to see other people's carvings and brag on them and just see other people's work. I love to do that. I just really do. And after the Charlotte show was over, I went through Gatlinburg to see a man that I had never met before. But I'd seen several of his videos, and I contacted him, and he wanted me to come see him. And his name is Whittler Dave, and that's his channel name, Whittler Dave. And check him out, because Dave's just a very nice fella. And unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time. I spent about 3 hours with him, and I didn't have a lot of time to talk with him. But next time I go to my son's, I'm gonna stay and spend a whole day with him. And he's a very, very nice fella, very unique man, wonderful individual, and good carver. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff in his life, and I was just very pleased to be able to spend some time with him. Well, while I was with him, he showed me a piece that I thought would be a wonderful little project to do for my podcast here. My YouTube channel here. And it's a little, let me show you his version. This is a much bigger version. This is, it's a little heart with the American flag. He does a lot of American flag stuff. And he did this, and I thought it was just very unique. I thought it was. And I said, well, Dave, can I use this as a project for one of my videos? He said, absolutely. So we just had a grand time talking. I'm going to tell you something, folks. There is nothing. And next time I go, we're going to sit and we're going to carve, and we're going to go and eat somewhere, and we're going to carve there and do all that stuff. He goes to Burger King down there, I guess in Pigeon Forge or somewhere, and he sits there and he carves and talks to people and stuff like that. And he is a lot like me. This is the way I love to interact with people and teach people and do that. And he opens himself up to teach anybody that would like that. He lives right in the middle of Gatlinburg. I mean, right in the middle of it. And excuse me. So we're going to carve this little heart today with the American flag. And now I made a little bit so that we wouldn't, this is a much larger version, as you can see. It's a smaller version of it, but you can make it as large as you want. It doesn't really matter how large you make it or whatever. So I made more of a miniature version of it, and we're going to carve this today. Now you can use a V-tool on these things, but we're going to use a knife. And he uses a knife almost exclusively on all his stuff. But his name is Whittler Whittler, Dave. Go check his channel out. It's not a real big channel, but he's just really a unique man to be around and to carve with, and I enjoyed him immensely. And then I went on to, well, we'll get into what else I did and all that stuff. But when we take this piece, before we start even shaping the sides and stuff, I want to go ahead and let's go ahead and cut in to this area right here. Okay, and basically it's just you cut into that area and then you remove this in here. Okay, just cut into that area there and cut here and you remove that, in other words, just like that. So you want to get that started so that you already have your cuts in here. In other words, just like that, you already have your cuts in here to show you exactly where you're at. And you want to do the same thing over here. You want to come here, okay, across with your knife. Now, like I told you, you can do this with a V-tool. You can do it with a V-tool, but I want to show you how you do it with a knife. And you cut into there, and this is 3/4 inch basswood, folks. 3/4 inch basswood. So this is really a wonderfully simple project. And this here now, let me give you the dimensions of this here. Now, the one that he gave me, and I'm proud to have it. Now, he uses sugar pine. He gave me a piece of sugar pine. You can't get sugar pine down in this area hardly at all. It's very rare to get it. So the one that he did was about, looks to be about 5.5 inches tall and 5 inches wide. And mine is only about 3 inches, a little over about 3 inches high and about 3 inches wide. So you can do the miniature one or you can do the bigger one. It doesn't really matter. Same type of deal, same type of situation that we have here. And now we're going to run this one across here like this. Okay, and we're going to come up underneath here and take some stuff away here. And then I wanted to tell you that I went across to Arkansas for that weekend, and I went to the North Woodcarvers show, which I am so glad that I went, because I really had a very good time. It was not as big a show as the Charlotte show. It was a smaller show, but I had a chance. I was just so enthralled that I got to go, because I had a chance. Who in the world came to the show but Mr. Mike Shipley? And Mike is just a favorite of mine in the carving world. Lord, everybody's got a Mike Shipley book. He is just so Mike Shipley was there, you know, carving country bears and carving the sea captains and all that stuff. Those are all Mike Shipley book. And I had a chance to meet him, And I was just so pleased to have a chance to sit and talk with Mr. Shipley. And I didn't record it, didn't get a picture, but my Mike is a very humble man. He doesn't try to act like he's something that he's not. He's just an old country guy, and he lives not far from where the show was, and it was in a place called Mountain Home, Arkansas. And I really enjoyed talking to some carvers, and I just love to do that. I do. I love that more than being in a show. I'll tell you. I just Dave said that. Dave said that he had been in a lot of carving shows, and he'd even won some prizes and stuff and some ribbons. And he said, it just doesn't mean all that much to me. So he's a lot like me. He really is. It just gets to a point where you don't worry about being recognized. You just enjoy carving, folks. You just enjoy doing it. And now I'm doing the little star here. I want to get it kind of done a little bit before we delve into getting the sides done. And so, but I was just so pleased as punch to be able to meet Mike Shipley and to share with him and his wife, his precious wife, and he remembers talking to me. I called him one time. When I was gonna do Mike Shipley's bear, I was gonna do a rough out and all that other stuff. I called him and I asked him for permission if I could do that as a project. And he said, yes, anytime, of course, you can do that, no problem whatsoever. So he remembers that I had called him, and so we had a good talk, and his wife was just sweet as a button. And but I want to say this, and I've asked that if you're on Facebook, you'll know what I was asking prayer for Mike. Mike told me that he had it just been 2 weeks before that time he'd had a heart attack, and he said it was his second one. So Mike is going through some really trying times with his heart, and he got a stent put in, so he said he feels so much better, but he's having some issues with his heart. And so I wanted to make a plea to everyone out there to please pray for Mike and his wife as they, go through these illnesses and stuff like that, because I know it's got to be hard on both of them. It really is. And so that was a big joy. So I got to meet a lot of carvers and people. So I just had a really, really nice time. Better than anywhere of trying to go and compete in a show or do anything like that. I mean, it's just a joy to be able to share and to be around carvers. All right, well, we've got the star, kind of outlined. So now what we want to do is we want to kind of take and we want to kind of come along here and get our edges, get them done. And like I said, I just had a great time. I mean, it was a carving exhibition, and I got to share with so many carvers, new carvers, older carvers. I mean, seeing my old friend Alan Goodman just brought such heartfelt memories. I hadn't seen Alan in 20 years, and it was just a joy seeing Alan. I'm telling you what, it was. Great teacher, great carver, and such an inspiration to other carvers and all that stuff. Alan is. And he's got now what's called a carving barn, and he holds classes. And I got to meet Mitch Cartlett, and Mitch goes way back in the Wood Carving Illustrated when we got to know one another. And he is all these guys are just fantastic. Jerry Clark, I got to meet Jerry, and they were so kind and welcoming to me as I went to the Charlotte show, and I just had a great time, I'll tell you what. And nothing, no ribbons, nothing can beat just having that good fellowship. Because you see, down here in Texas, I don't have any fellowship. Our club had to close down because of the fact that we couldn't find a place to carve. And then the place we had, these people bought it out, and they wanted to charge us a huge amount of money to be able to even do anything there. And so, it ended up, so I don't really have the fellowship with carvers down here that I had by going. We're going to just kind of take some off around here. We're just kind of getting, you want to leave this back flat, but you do want to kind of shape this also back here. You want to do that as well. So that was a wonderful way for me to share and to be with carvers and to talk to them. And I got to meet at the Charlotte show. I got to meet the great Mr. David Boone, who is also just a fantastic carver and a wonderful human being. I'll tell you what, he's the one that did the carvings of the Vietnam veteran men who were soldiers who were trudging through the mud in Vietnam and stuff. David was a veteran of Vietnam. He was in Vietnam, so he knew firsthand how things were and all that stuff. And he won Best of Show with his Indian head. So I was just a joy to be able to talk to him. And once again, I will say his name is David Boone, B-O-O-N, and you can find him on Facebook, see his just wonderful carvings. But also Mr. Boone told me he's 83 years old, that they discovered melanoma on him, and that he asked, and I asked you to say some prayers for him. He's going through treatments right now, and so told him that I would be praying for him and his wife and family and everything like that. What a gentleman too. I mean, just a wonderful gentleman to talk to and to be around. So there were some great carvers out there, and I miss Blake Lunsford, who I have known for ever since the beginning of Wood Carving Illustrated forum that we had back there. And Blake was there, but he was only there on the Saturday and had to leave and go back. His wife had they had to do something. There was something with their church, and that's wonderful. And so I missed Blake. I showed up on a Sunday, so all right. See, we got this going around now. So I missed Blake, but I'll catch him another time. But I tell you, it was a joy going to that show and sharing with these men and doing the things that just talking to these men that I had talked to on Facebook many times, but I just never met them in person. And it was a joy to do that. It really was. Okay, I'm just kind of doing the back here just a little bit. You leave the back flat. You don't want to do it too much, but you leave it flat, but you kind of, now look, we're already starting to, all right. Now, what we want to do around this star is we want to bring that star out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit deeper on that star. See, just like that. On each side, we're going to go a little bit deeper on that star, so it, you know, shows out. Okay. Just like right here. So I really had a good time. I'll tell you what. Like I said, I need that fellowship with those carvers. But everything is just so far away from where I live. You know, I mean, it's just, it's so far away that that I try to get everything. You know, when I go to a show like that, it's just not very often, because like I said, it just takes, like I said, just going to the Charlotte show, it was like I drove, it was like 14 hours, man. I mean, it was a long drive. And when I went through Atlanta, oh gosh, I had to go through Atlanta. Oh my goodness gracious, that was horrible. The traffic in Atlanta, I don't care. It was on a Saturday, you know, was just absolutely horrible. So it just really. Now all I'm doing right now is just taking these areas, cutting deeper, and taking these areas off where this star is on it. See, to bring that out, it's like a relief type carving. To bring that out so that I can now I can cut as deep as I want on that as I go. There we go. See that? See how that stands out there now? And you kind of clean it up around there. But that brought a lot of joy to my heart, and having a chance to